So today is my 25th birthday. It is March 5th, 2018. And today is also my 1 year anniversary for my YouTube channel. Just this time last year, I had started my YouTube channel called The Better Me. And this was an extension of my blog, also known as The Better Me. And so the whole idea of this channel was to really just share my journey with other people about how I am achieving, this lifestyle that consists of me being a better me, right? And so that meant spiritually, that meant mentally, emotionally, in my marriage, and just in all areas all around. I wanted to share 3 things that I learned in this previous year, age 24. The first thing that I really learned, and I'm still learning, so everything that I'm about to mention are things that I am still learning. I have not mastered yet, but my first thing is that it's okay to not have it all together, and it's okay to be in a place of the unknown. And that's something that I'm still trying to figure out. I'm very much a perfectionist. I like to have it all figured out. I don't like to be up in the air. I don't like to not have control. And so I really found myself, especially in the past few weeks, not so much, throughout the past year, but really recently, I found myself like in this rut as far as life was concerned, and just not knowing what I was doing, feeling really purposeless, feeling like I was walking around without an aim in life, like just really feeling out of it, I found myself like really getting back to a place where I was sinking into depression, and that's something I hadn't dealt with in a long time. So it was really catching me off guard. I really didn't know how to handle it. And so for me, it's so easy to say like, find comfort in the scriptures. And like that's what we should do, like, finding comfort in scriptures, and finding comfort in God. And I guess for me, like, I found my comfort in God, but I honestly struggled in my quiet time to an extent, in that moment where I was falling into that rut. So in that moment where I was feeling down and I was feeling depressed and I was in a rut, I was having a hard time opening the Bible and reading. I was having a hard time really just sitting before the Lord and spending time with Him. And part of that was like a busy schedule, but it was just really hard. And so I found myself turning to social media, and that obviously is not helping anything at all. Like, that contributed to the issue even more, because I felt like I had no purpose. I felt like, what am I doing in life? And so then I'm on social media and I'm comparing myself to people, and then I'm finding myself jealous and envious, and just a whole bunch of things that obviously is not glorifying God, and it's not helping me at all. So for me, it was really like holding on to God in those moments. And that's one thing, like, I thank God for it, that like I grew up in the old church, in the old church, one thing that they really pressed was like, no matter what you're going through, like holding on to God and pushing through. And so it's really what I did during that time, even when I struggled to read my Bible, even when I was really struggling to turn to God, because I just felt really horrible and I felt really condemned that I was struggling, the way I was mentally and emotionally, especially because I had overcome so much. And it was like, why am I back in this place? It was really difficult for me. So I really just had to cleave to God in that moment and come to the place of saying, like, you know what, I'm not okay right now. I don't feel okay. I don't have this all figured out. I don't know what I'm doing, honestly, and that's okay. Like, it's okay. It's okay not to have it all figured out. Sometimes I forget that I was 24, 25, I'm still young. And so sometimes I feel like Jesus is coming back tomorrow. I mean, He might come back tomorrow, I don't know, praise God. But like, I feel like, I'm in my 60s, 70s, 80s, I'm old, and I feel like life has passed me by, and like, what am I doing? And I have to really catch myself and like remind myself, Samantha, you're still young. Like, it's okay. It's okay not to have it all figured out. As long as you have God, who knows tomorrow, He knows yesterday, He knows 3 years from now. That's all you need. Just hold on to Him, right? Don't worry about trying to figure it out. Don't worry about trying to see. Just keep walking with Him. Keep pushing every day, even if you don't feel it, even if you don't sense Him, even if you don't know what you're doing, even if you've fallen off track, you've fallen down, just keep pushing. Like, don't give up. And for me, that was all I was able to hold on to in these past few weeks, was just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. Keep waking up. Keep praying, keep talking to Him. Like I said, I was struggling to read my Bible, but that's something I would encourage someone to do, is like open your word, I did struggle with doing that. Don't isolate yourself. I think I did better with that. Usually I isolate myself and I don't reach out to people, but I did reach out to people. I had people praying for me as well, and that really helped me also. And so really just continuing to push, even when I didn't feel it half of the days. Like, I felt like I was just going through the motions. I felt like a robot, but literally I just continued to get up, continue to get myself together, continue to go to work. I continued to just push through, and I just trusted that God was going to deliver me. Like, I knew it was not going to be like this forever. And so that really helped me. And so I feel much better through like people's prayers and just really crying out to God. I really had to just go before the Lord and cry out to him. And I mean, like, when those ugly cry outs to God, like I need you type of cry out. I need you to hear me right now, and I'm not okay. I'm a hot mess. Like, that really helped me. And so that's kind of something that I learned in this past year, is that it's okay not to know. It's okay to be in the unknown. It's okay not to have it together. It's okay to have those moments, but remembering that it doesn't last always. It's not going to be forever. You eventually have to get out of it. And just really the importance of community and people surrounding you and just helping you come out of it. The second thing that I learned in this previous year is that I still fully don't know who I am. I don't. I'm still trying to figure that out. It's so easy to say, like, oh, my identity is in Jesus, and I'm a child of God. Like, those things are true, but saying it and it really being in your heart and internalizing that are two different things. So I really realized in this past year that I don't fully know who I am. I feel like, I may have lost myself a little bit over the past few years. And there are parts that maybe I thought I had figured out, but I didn't have it figured out. And so now I'm trying to figure it out. So I don't fully know who I am. I don't have my identity figured out. I have an idea, but I need to do more than just have an idea. I need to really know, I need to really understand, and I need to internalize that. So I still don't know who I am. So the last thing that I learned in this past year is really the importance of holistic health and just like a holistic approach in life. I really realized that God cares about every area of your life, like every area. So spiritually, like my relationship, my salvation, he's concerned about me being delivered, and not just delivered from the big things like drinking and smoking and, having sex. Those things, like I got over like when I first, started my relationship with the Lord. But now I'm a few years in, and so even down to like my attitude, the Lord cares about my attitude. The fact that I'm impatient, the fact that I get irritable very quickly. The fact that I think very low of myself, like God cares about that. He cares about my emotional and my mental well-being. He's not okay with me walking around depressed. He's not okay with me not knowing who I am. He's not okay with me comparing myself. So even in the small things, like God cares about. He cares about my finances and how I'm spending my money. He cares about how I treat my husband, and my relationship behind closed doors. Not what people see on social media, not what you see, at a marriage conference or when we do ministry, but behind closed doors. Like, he's concerned about Samantha. He's concerned about every aspect of my life. He's concerned about me taking care of myself, taking care of my body. I've been really, researching just natural skincare products and just, more of a natural health. And so I believe that like the Lord cares about that as well. Of course, like if it's in your ability to do those things, he cares about them. He cares about every little thing. And every little thing should glorify God. Like, it should point back to him. And when other people see it, like, it should show them Jesus in my life. And so those are 3 things that I really learned in this past year, the previous year. And these are 3 things that I'm still discovering, I'm still developing, and I'm still going through in this new year. And I'm just really excited for the year of 25. I just believe it's going to be a year of maturity. It's going to continue to be a year of preparation and growth and deliverance and healing. Like, I believe that's going to be a never-ending process. It's so easy to go to the altar and get delivered and healed and feel like that's it. But it's a daily thing. It's daily, your salvation is a daily decision. Like, daily I'm saying yes to Jesus. daily I'm choosing Jesus over sin, or Jesus over my emotions. Daily, am I seeking deliverance? Daily am I seeking healing? It's a daily thing. So my desire in this new year is to hopefully record a little bit more, and to record more short and concise videos, and maybe do more vlogs. And I think that that will capture just more of who I am. And hopefully it'll also serve as a point of accountability for myself, because I need some accountability in life. So that's kind of my hope for myself, and just what this channel will do moving forward. And just really to continue to glorify God as well. I think that it's so easy to say that, and I think that I had to really catch myself, this year. And something I started to realize kind of going into year 2 is that you can say I want the Lord to be glorified in me doing this, but in your heart is really saying something completely different. And so I think that it started to get to the point where I was saying okay, God, I want you to be glorified out of this, and I want people to benefit from this. But really what was in my heart was the amount of likes and the amount of subscribes I got, and the feedback that I got from people. And that's something that I really want to negate going into this new year. And so really just being obedient. So that goes back to not having success by the world standards, because the world standards would, deem success as how many subscribers you have and how many views you have. And that's something that I don't want to get caught up in. And so I really just want to stay focused on okay, God, what do you want me to put out there? What are you doing in my life? What is a testimony that I can share with someone else right now that may be experiencing what I'm experiencing or have experienced? And just really sharing that and being transparent with people, and not putting on this front, to look holier than thou, which I had to really catch myself, that I was able to see that maybe that's sometimes what I am doing, whether it's intentionally or not. Sometimes you can just kind of get caught up in wanting to put up a certain image, and that's not what I want to do. I really want people to see me, and I want them to be able to see themselves kind of in what I'm going through. And I feel like the only way that people can see that and really experience that is if you're honest and transparent. So it's really my hope is just to really be more transparent, and to intentionally, not just by word of mouth, but really allow the Lord to be glorified in what I'm doing and in this channel. And so, that people will be delivered, or people will be healed, or people will be encouraged, and people will just draw closer to God because of it. So that's my hope for it, and that's what I'm going to continue to pray concerning. So I pray you guys got something from that, even just in that moment of sharing. And thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you have an amazing day.